Hello parents, my name is Cassie Fichter.
And I am Melanie Sartain.
We are the teachers for Algebra 1 AB, and we're just going to give you a brief overview of how the class is going to be run. So we're going to go ahead and look at our slides first. So here's a couple of pictures of us. My family is on the right-hand side. My husband and I have been married for 9 years, together for 17. We actually met in high school. We have a couple of children. We have a daughter. She's 6.5. Her name is Abby. And our son, Aaron, he is 2.5.
And that is a picture on the left of my family. My husband and I have been married for 15 years, and we have 2 fur babies, Darwin on the left and Pebbles on the right. My husband and I also met in high school and reunited later after college. I've been in the building this is my 17th year teaching. We are now going to go through the slide presentation of our class. First and third period is when we have our course. We meet twice a day. Our phone numbers and our email addresses are listed there. Of course, the email is a little bit easier for us to respond quickly, but if you prefer the phone method, you can certainly leave us a voicemail and we will get back to you. The materials that we need for the course are listed there. A graphing calculator is preferred. It's listed there at the top in blue or light blue, and TI-83 or TI-84 is the preferred calculator, and the one below it would be okay for the time being. It's a scientific calculator. It will do most functions, but the TI-83-84 will be carried throughout their math career in the high school setting. The textbook, each student has their own copy that they do not need to bring to class. The in-person piece, we will not go over anything from the textbook except for homework, but they do need to utilize that text for homework purposes. Homework is assigned every night except on quiz and test days. It is entered in Tyler every few days, so you can see what your student would be missing. Schedules of homework assignments and quiz test days is always updated on the WAG, which is our Week at a Glance. This is also posted under our resources on the Google Classroom, which we will share with you momentarily. Quizzes and tests quizzes cannot be retaken, but tests can be retaken up to 1 time. We do have to follow district policy to complete a review sheet, along with the parent signature for that to happen. And extra help, we do have students that can sign up for appointment time slots between 2 and 3 for either one of us. It's in 10-minute increments. We can schedule more time if needed. And small groups can be formed as well as individual time.
All right, so what I'm going to do now is show you our Google Classroom page. So this is what our Google Classroom page looks like. Under the stream is usually just announcements, but what the students should always make sure they're clicking on is classwork at the top, because that's where all the assignments are going to be. At the top of the classwork page is always going to be the most current week. So we're currently in week 2, and you can see the assignments here. We will always post them with the day first so that they know what day that assignment took place, and try to keep them organized. And due dates are on the right-hand side. Underneath that is resources. There's a lot of resources here. We know that the school Chromebooks, we're still waiting for permissions on a lot of the Google extensions, but I made a video to show the students what extensions they should get once we receive those permissions. If your student has their own personal Chromebook or a laptop or a desktop computer, they can go ahead and add those extensions now. Underneath that is the syllabus. A lot of good information in there. Hopefully your student showed it to them because that was part of one of the assignments, was to show the parent a syllabus. Underneath that is our WAG. I'll go ahead and click on it to show you. When the student opens the WAG, the very first slide is always going to be the current slide. So I will always move older slides down so that they're not in the way. But as you can see, you're able to look and see what we're doing in class as well as what we're assigning for homework. And we don't have a quiz coming up this week, but if there is ever a quiz or a test, I will make sure to increase the font size and make it nice and bold so that it sort of stands out and students know what's coming. All right, underneath the WAG, we've got our student support appointment links. I'm going to go ahead and click on mine and show you what it would look like. When a student clicks this link, it opens up my calendar appointments, and they can select whichever appointment time works for them. The one at the very top is 2 o'clock, and then it goes to 2:10, 2:20, etc. So if they pick the time that they would like, we ask that they put their name and the reason for meeting in the description. They can then click Save. Once they click Save, it will automatically generate an invitation to the teacher, letting them know that somebody signed up for that time slot. It'll also generate an invitation to the student's email, and in that email will be a personal link for them to click on to join, to meet with us during that particular time slot. All right, so there's my student support appointment link, and then Mrs. Sartain's is directly below mine, so the students can select who they would like to get extra help with. Just as I mentioned before, the school Chromebooks, we're still waiting for permissions on all the extensions, and that includes this graphing calculator link. But again, if you have your personal Chromebook or if you're on a laptop or a desktop computer, you should be able to add this graphing calculator link. Oh, I'm sorry, I misspoke. The link here is only good for Chromebooks. So if you have a school Chromebook, you're just going to have to wait until we get permission to use that extension. If you have your own personal Chromebook, feel free to click the link and add that extension now. But it does not work on a regular PC. All right, underneath resources, we have printable guided notes. I'm going to go ahead and open up the document just to show you guys what it would look like. But this is for all of Unit 1. So it's a rather long document. Might seem a little bit overwhelming, but this is, for example, what notes would look like. So your student does have the option to print these notes and fill in the blanks as we go. It could make things a little bit easier for them. In the future, when we get to more graphing units, we will hopefully be able to provide these workbooks for your students so that you don't have to print them at home. For now, we're not doing a ton of graphing, so I'm going to make it an optional thing for them to print. Underneath that is always going to be past weeks. So this was last week. I'll always kind of push those towards the bottom so that they're not in students' way. And that is what our Google Classroom page looks like. So if you have any questions for us, feel free to email us, and we'll get back to you as quickly as we can. And we hope that we have a great year with your students, and hopefully we will be able to meet them in person real soon. Have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching.